5 seconds. The Union Minister for Welfare and Social Justice, while delivering the inaugural address at the Conference of Ministers of the States at New Delhi, said, I am very happy to be in your midst today at the inaugural session of the Conference of State Ministers of Welfare, Social Justice and Empowerment. The success of our work will be measured in how far we are able to bring relief to our brothers and sisters of the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, and so on and so forth. Although successive governments have made progressive laws which protect the basic rights and interests and dignity of those who are disadvantaged in one way or the other, the real question is how to implement and enforce these laws effectively. We need to ensure that meetings of the vigilance and monitoring committees at the state and district levels are held regularly. In this context, I would like to bring to your notice that I have written to all the chief ministers on this subject. I do hope that the state welfare ministers will come forward to implement the letter and spirit of these acts. At the same time, I would like to urge all of you to take full advantage of central assistance which is available for this purpose and which includes setting up a large number of special courts for speedy trial of such offences. I am to state that various steps are being taken up by your government to address the concerns of persons with disabilities. But I do recognize that we have to do much more in this regard. The expert group of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is drafting a new law in place of the present Act of Persons with Disabilities. After consulting state governments and other stakeholders, we propose to introduce the bill in Parliament. Steps have been taken to provide for the health care, security, and well being of our senior citizens, but in this regard, also, we need to do a lot more as well. We have increased tax and travel concessions for senior citizens, but as I said, much more needs to be done. We should use the services of local bodies and senior citizens associations and other community based groups to sensitize and reorient the law enforcement machinery for providing special protection needs of older persons. You are well aware that the scheduled caste subplan is our instrument to address the developmental gap between the scheduled castes and the general population. I know that the state governments are trying to earmark sufficient funds under the scheduled caste subplan in consonance with their population. I take this an opportunity to urge that state governments must, with all sincerity, prepare and implement this scheme so that benefits really go to those for whom they are truly intended. We are also working sincerely together to ensure an annual voluntary disclosure mechanism. The central government is planning to earmark a percentage of procurement from the micro, small, and medium public enterprises which are run by those who are disadvantaged. Friends, it is a significant fact that this conference is being organized at a time when we are on the verge of formulating the 13th 5 year plan. I therefore earnestly request all of you to review the progress so far made in these matters, which are of critical concern to our agenda of social justice. I would also urge you to identify areas which are lacking attention and recommend what you see as the road ahead for the 13th 5 year plan. The central government also introduced the post metric scholarship scheme for scheduled caste students. Education, healthcare, and skill development are the three very important requisites of empowering disadvantaged sections of our country to rise in the development field. Therefore, we have attached greatest importance to provision of scholarships to students coming from these categories of our citizens. I assure you that the center will continue to bear the financial liability for the entire 13th 5 year plan period. The central government has willingly undertaken this additional commitment in order to ensure that our scheduled caste children do have access to education of the requisite quality. The state governments must, however, ensure that the benefits of the revised scheme not only reach the scheduled caste students but also do so in a transparent manner. With these words, I wish the conference all success and your deliberations will be useful and fruitful.